Okay, good morning Year 6 and welcome to the last video for this week. I don't know if any of you would have realised, but this week, if you'd been at school, would have been SATs week.
Woo!
So I hope you've all had real good fun sitting your SATs at home. We look forward to seeing how well you've done. Your SATs obviously being the purple match for this week. So, let's continue. The challenge yesterday. Now, Dexter said he was working out the unknown angles and he said he couldn't do it because he didn't have enough information. However, this is an isosceles triangle because we have two markers here that show us that they are equal in length. That also means that these two angles here are the same. So if you have 180 degrees for the whole triangle and you take away 28 degrees, it gives you these two together. Then you just half it and you've worked out what they are. So whilst he thought he didn't have enough information, he had all the information he needed. Each of these missing angles would have been 76 degrees. Over to Whitney and Jack. So Jack is the one that's correct. Although Whitney thinks she hasn't got any information, she actually has. This is all the information she needs. That tells us that that triangle has three equal sides. If it's got three equal sides, it's an equilateral triangle. That also means it has three equal angles. So if we take our 180 degrees and divide it by the three angles, we get 60 degrees. Just a quick hint for life, the angles in an equilateral triangle are always 60 degrees. So, you're fluent in 5. First of all, look very carefully at the diagrams and match them with their rule. Then on the other side, work out the sizes of the unknown angles and give a reason. So you should be able to say, I know this is this because, and it gives you the other, it gives you a space to write the example. Pause it and have a go. Right, so hopefully you paused the video and had a go. So this angle, this triangle here, we know it's an isosceles because it's got two equal sides. So it goes all the way down to here and it says the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Then we've got this one here and it goes all the way down to the bottom and it says vertically opposite angles are equal. Because these angles are vertically opposite, they are the same. This one here, go up. Angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. They are the sum to 180 degrees. This one here goes to this one. Angles around a point are equal to or sum to 360 degrees. Lastly, this one here says, in an isosceles triangle, two angles are equal. Now I know they're both isosceles. The only reason that one sits to that one is because it's marked two of the angles and this one marked all three. But don't worry if you got them the other way around, I think we could probably accept that. Then, over here. Now, if you've used this knowledge, you should know that A is 71 degrees because it is vertically opposite to your angle you've been given. So A is 71 degrees because it is vertically opposite angles are equal. Then, as soon as you know that that's 71, do 71 and 63 together, take that away from 180, and that gives you 46, because the angles in a triangle add up to 180. B, right. So, you know that this is an isosceles triangle, because you've got two markers here that show you they are the same length. That means D and E are equal angles. Then here, this is your key piece of information. You know that angles in a straight line make 180 degrees. You've already been given 137. So if you do 180, take away 137, you get 43, which is D. We then know that E is also 43, because in an isosceles angles, the two angles are equal. And lastly, you've got F. Well, now you know that D and E are 43. Add them together and take them away from 180, and you get 94, because all of the angles in a triangle add up to 180. Lastly, C. This one's quite cool. There's loads of different places you can work out here. So, let's go with G first. just because it's up here first. So, you know that a full turn is 360 degrees. Now you've got here 309 of them marked, so G must be 51, because 51 add 309 is your magic 360 for a full turn. Then here, you've been given a right angle symbol here. Now that tells you that that side is 90 degrees. Now this is a straight line, so it's kind of a trick, because the two, if you've got 90 degrees on this side must also be 90 degrees, because 90 add 90 is 180. So even though it hasn't got the symbol for a right angle triangle, it's 90 degrees. Now, we've worked out 51 for G and 90 for H. Well now, it's simple. Add them together and take them away from 180 to get 39, because all the angles in a triangle add up to 180. I feel like I've said that so many times now. Please remember. Your challenge. So, Rosie says, it is impossible for me to calculate all of the missing angles. Is Rosie right? Explain why. Then, over here, Charles thinks that angle B measures 65 degrees. That's here. Chrissy thinks that the angle B measures 120 degrees. Who's right? Explain why. Pause the video, have a go, and I'll reveal the answers in a moment. Right, hopefully you had a go. So, Rosie's wrong, because A is 35 degrees. Now, we worked that out by knowing that that is 90. If you do 90 and 55 together and take it away from 180, you will get 35 degrees. Angle B is 280 degrees. Now we've worked out that this one's 35. If we add that to our 45 and take it away from 360, it gives us 280. Down here. Again, it looks difficult, but it isn't so bad. You know that's 90 degrees, and you know that is 45. Add them together and take it away from 180, and you get 45 degrees. That tells you that this side is 45 degrees. Now, knowing that a straight line is 180, you now just need to do 180, take away 45, that gives you 135. Pretty cool. Right, next one. So, Chrissy thinks that angle B measures 65 degrees. Charles thinks it's 65 degrees. Chrissy thinks it's 120. Straight away, we know that Charles can't be right, because this angle's obtuse. That means it must be more than 90 degrees. So we already know that Charles can't be right, because 65 degrees is less than 90. And if an obtuse angle has to be more than 90 degrees, he's never going to be correct. But is Chrissy correct? Well, yes, Chrissy is correct, because actually, I can use this information here, 115, to work out what this side is, because I've got the information from my straight angle. If I do 180, take away 115, it gives me this side here, this angle. I then need to add those two angles together and take it away from 180. That gives me this angle here. I then have my 180 from my straight angle and remove my new angle, and that leaves me with B. 180 take away 60 is 120, so Chrissy was right. Well done for this week. See you next week.